Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. I'm Jonathan Friedman, today joined in the studio by our reporter John Dustin. John, good to be with you.
Jonathan, great to be back.
It's always a pleasure to have you on the show and learn about great entrepreneur stories. And our next guest on Radio Entrepreneurs is Eric Edelman. Eric's with Peak Physical Therapy. How are you, Eric?
Great. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you for coming on the show. You've got a physical therapy organization, I should say. You don't have a single location. Why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about your practice?
Sure. Peak Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We've been around since 2008. I was a co-owner of a practice before then, and I opened up Peak in 2008 with our original office in Norwell on the South Shore. We have our first location, like I said, was in Norwell. Our second one was in Scituate. Then we expanded to Quincy, and our most recent, about a year ago now, is in Hanover.
Wonderful. So we talked a little bit before we came on the air about the range of services that you provide, and you're a little bit different than what one might consider in a typical outpatient physical therapy setting. Mm-hmm. So why don't you talk about what differentiates you guys a little bit?
Sure. Not only do we consider ourselves top tier in the care that we provide, as well as the customer service experience that we provide, but we really sought to be able to help out as many people in the communities we serve as possible. So within that, people are familiar with traditional physical therapy, and when people think of outpatient therapy, they think of back problems and shoulder problems and maybe sports injuries.
Typical orthopedics.
Middle age. Exactly, middle age. Everybody's
Weekend
getting
warriors.
injured. Exactly, and don't get me wrong, that's still a huge part of our practice. But within physical therapy, people really aren't aware of all the different things that. Or to say subspecialties that physical therapists can take care of. So within that, we have an aquatics program. So we have a pool therapy program. We rent pool time at 3 different facilities across the South Shore that are convenient to all of our land, called land locations, to be able to provide that. So that's a wonderful program. It's a modality that helps a lot of our patients who need the water buoyancy for healing. It makes the recovery a lot quicker for certain conditions, and it allows us to treat certain patients that otherwise would have difficulty
or can't sustain the pain threshold or things of that nature.
Exactly right.
Helps to
Are those typically auto comp accidents, severe injuries, or are they?
You'd be surprised. So they could be a whole host of things. It could be anything from a low back pain from somebody who was in the yard raking, and you get into the water and you're only 20% of your body weight now, so it's a lot easier to move and get things done. Could be a severe car accident where there's multiple body parts involved, so it's helpful to be in the water to be able to do lots of different activities there. Could be an older person with a balance problem who's at risk of falling or has already taken falls. So in the water, they're buoyant, they're not going to fall, and they can do a lot of strengthening activities that will translate to land to help them prevent falls. So it could be all over the map. It's really only limited to the creativity of the therapist, the plan that the therapist creates. But the vast majority of patients, within just a couple of we call contraindications where you can't get in the water, the vast majority can be helped with some sort of aquatic program.